They say family is supposed to have your back, but at my little brother Liam's wedding, mine stabbed me in it. Banished to a hallway, seated next to a coat rack like some nobody, I realized they didn't just forget me. They wanted to humiliate me. And that was their biggest mistake. Before we dive into this wild story, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss more insane family drama like this. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for the chaos I unleashed. My name's Ryan, and I'm 29. Just your average guy, work a steady job in IT, like to grill on weekends, maybe catch a game with friends. Nothing special, but I always thought I was a decent brother. Growing up, though, I was never the star of the show. That was Liam, my younger brother by 3 years. He was the golden child, the one who could do no wrong. Me? I was the one setting the example, cleaning up his messes, and getting zero credit for it. Picture this. I'm 10 years old helping Liam with his math homework, while mom and dad cheer him on for scoring a goal in Pee Wee soccer. Never mind that I was on the same team, blocking shots so he could shine. Or when I was 16, driving him to parties because he'd lost his license after sneaking out with dad's car. I never complained. I figured that's what big brothers do. Show up, no questions asked. So when Liam announced he was getting married, I was genuinely happy for him. He'd met Sarah, this sweet girl who seemed to balance his chaos. The wedding was going to be big. Fancy venue, open bar, the works. I wasn't expecting an invite to the bachelor party or a front row seat, but I thought, this is family. I'll be there. I even spent half my savings on a nice gift. A custom engraved watch for Liam, something to mark the occasion. I wanted him to know I was proud. The day of the wedding, I put on my best suit, practiced my smile in the mirror, and drove to the venue, a gorgeous ballroom with chandeliers and flowers everywhere. I walked in expecting to see my parents waving me over to the family table. Instead, a flustered usher handed me a place card and pointed down a hallway. "Your seat's that way," he mumbled, avoiding my eyes. I followed him, confused. The hallway was dim, lined with coat racks and spare chairs. There, at a wobbly folding table, was my name on a card. Ryan Thompson, guest. Not with mom, dad, or even our cousins. Not in the ballroom with the string quartet and in candlelight. No, I was out here next to a pile of jackets, like some distant acquaintance who barely made the cut. I stood there, my face burning. Guests streamed past, chatting and laughing, their heels clicking on the marble floor. I heard someone whisper, "Who's that guy by the coats?" My chest tightened. I'm not a dramatic person, but this felt like a punch to the gut. I'd spent my life showing up for Liam, and this is where they put me? I wanted to storm out, but something kept me rooted. Maybe it was hope. Maybe it was stubbornness. Either way, I wasn't leaving without answers. I found Liam near the head table, laughing with his groomsmen, a glass of whiskey in his hand. He looked every bit the golden child, tailored tux, perfect hair, that effortless charm that always got him out of trouble. I tapped his shoulder, my place card crumpled in my fist. "Liam," I said, keeping my voice steady, "what's with my seat? Why am I out in the hallway?" He blinked, like I'd caught him off guard, then flashed that grin he always used to dodge responsibility. "Oh, right, come on, it's not a big deal. We had to prioritize immediate family." I froze. The words hit like a slap. "I am immediate family," I said, my voice low but shaking. "I'm your brother." He laughed, actually laughed, like I was being ridiculous. "You know what I mean," he said, waving me off. "Sarah's family's huge and we had to make cuts. Don't make it weird." Before I could respond, a voice cut in, sharp, dripping with condescension. "Only important people sit near the front, dear." It was Sarah's mother, Elaine, gliding over in a gaudy sequined dress that screamed, "Look at me." Her lips curled into a smirk, like she'd been waiting to deliver that line. I stared at her, then back at Liam. He didn't correct her, didn't defend me. He just shrugged, like this was all normal. That's when it clicked. This wasn't a mistake. They'd planned it. They wanted me to feel small, to know my place. And Liam was fine with it. I could have walked away. I could have sat back down at my sad little table and swallowed my pride. But something snapped. I remembered every time I'd bitten my tongue for Liam. Like when I was 19, working two jobs to help pay for his college applications because mom and dad said they couldn't afford it. Or when I lied to cover for him after he crashed dad's car, letting him keep his clean record while I took the blame. All those moments flooded back, and I realized I was done being invisible. I leaned against the wall, watching Elaine strut back to her table, her laughter echoing. And then I remembered something else, something Liam had said a few weeks ago. We'd been grabbing beers, and he'd been venting about Sarah's family. Her mom's dress is so tacky, he'd groaned. It's like she's trying to outshine the bride. And don't get me started on her speech. She's so overbearing, Rye. I can't stand her. At the time, I'd laughed it off, told him to chill. But now those words were gold. I glanced at Liam, still joking with his groomsmen, oblivious to the storm brewing. I didn't have a plan yet, but I knew one thing: I wasn't going to let this slide. The reception was in full swing, clinking glasses, laughter, the band playing some cheesy love song. I stood at the edge of the ballroom, champagne flute in hand, watching Elaine hold court at the head table. She was loud, waving her arms, basking in the attention. Liam was next to her, fake smiling through her stories. Sarah looked radiant but tense, like she sensed the undercurrent of drama. I took a deep breath. This was it. I walked over, casual as could be, and tapped Elaine's shoulder. Mind if I join you for a sec? I asked, my voice sweet enough to pass for polite. She looked me up and down, her smirk returning. Oh, it's the hallway boy, she said loud enough for nearby guests to hear. A few chuckled. My jaw tightened, but I kept smiling. Yeah, that's me, I said, leaning in. Just wanted to congratulate you on the wedding. Liam was telling me how much he loves your unique style. I paused, letting the words hang. He said your dress is one of a kind. What was it he called it? Oh, right, tacky. The table went silent. Elaine's face froze, her eyes narrowing. Excuse me? She said, her voice sharp. I didn't stop. Oh, and he was so worried about your speech. Said it might, how did he put it? Ruin the vibe because you're so overbearing. I turned to Liam, whose face had gone white. Right, bro? The room felt like it was holding its breath. Elaine's mouth dropped open. She turned to Liam, her voice rising. Is this true? Did you say that? Liam stammered. No, he's lying. I didn't, but I wasn't done. Oh, come on, Liam. You told me you were dreading her being in the photos. Said she'd make them look, what was the word? Cheap. Elaine slammed her glass down, the sound echoing. You ungrateful little... She started, her voice a screech. Guests turned, whispers spreading like wildfire. Sarah's eyes darted between Liam and her mother, her face crumpling. The bridesmaids exchanged horrified looks. I stepped back, sipping my champagne, letting the chaos unfold. Liam tried to backpedal, but Elaine was on a rampage, yelling about how she'd paid for half the wedding, how she'd welcomed him into the family. Sarah looked like she wanted to disappear. Then I walked to the gift table. There it was, my engraved watch, wrapped in silver paper. I picked it up, feeling every eye on me. Liam noticed and shouted, Are you serious, Ryan? I turned, calm as ever. I'm not real family, remember? I said, loud enough for everyone to hear. So I'll just take this back. I tucked the gift under my arm and walked out, my grin wider than it had been in years. The fallout was nuclear. By the next morning, Elaine had disowned Liam, telling Sarah she'd never speak to him again. Sarah was furious, texting me paragraphs about how I'd ruined her day. My mom called, crying, begging me to apologize. He's your brother, Ryan, she said. Fix this. But then there was Dad. He called me a week later, his voice quiet but steady. You were right, he said. They deserved it. I should have stood up for you years ago. That was the first time I'd ever heard him say anything like that. It hit me harder than I expected. Was I petty? Maybe. I could have stayed quiet, let them walk all over me like always. But standing there watching Liam's perfect world crack, I felt something I hadn't in years. Seen. For once, I wasn't invisible. I wasn't the coat rack brother. I was Ryan, and I'd made them face the truth. Looking back, I don't regret it. I learned something that day. Family isn't about who shares your blood. It's about who respects you. And if they don't, you don't owe them a thing. So what do you think? Was I wrong or did they get what was coming? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you've got a crazy family story, I want to hear it. Hit that like button if you're Team Ryan and subscribe for more stories like this. Until next time, stay true to yourself, no matter what anyone else thinks.